Hi, my name is Katherine Kidshaber, and this is my third book critique set. The first book I read for this week's book critique is Spaghetti in a Hot Dog Bun, Having to Be Who You Are. This book is about a girl named Lucy who learns the importance of staying true to herself. Next, I read The Boxcar Children. This book begins the series by introducing the four main characters who are siblings and orphans living in a boxcar, and together they go on many adventures trying to escape their evil grandfather. The Dot shows readers that anyone can be creative. All you have to do is start with a dot. The One and Only Ivan is a touching story about a gorilla who lives in a mall with other circus animals. Ivan knows the mall isn't a good place for the animals, but will he be able to make a difference? Just Ask is a unique book about students with disabilities. It teaches readers to ask others why they are different instead of judging them. The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe is about four siblings who discover a magical kingdom in the back of a wardrobe. Together, the children try to save the creatures of this kingdom from the evil witch. The Name Jar tells us about a young girl named Une whose family recently moved to the United States. Une is sick of people mispronouncing her name, and so she decides to pick an American name. But along the way, she discovers the value in the name Une. Esperanza Rising is about a girl named Esperanza who goes from living on a wealthy farm in Mexico to working in the fields in America for little pay. With her mother sick and her grandmother still in Mexico, will Esperanza ever get to see her family again? Esperanza Rising is my feature text, and for this book I created 2 lesson plans to go along with it. The first lesson plan I created is a 4th grade reading lesson plan. I used the Common Core Reading Standard, talking about depth of a character, setting, and events of the story. So for this lesson plan, first I would put the students into small groups and they will read Esperanza together over the course of the unit. Then I will have the groups divide their book into 4 equal reading chunks based on 2 weeks. So the students will meet twice a week for 2 weeks, so they'll have 4 times to read. And during each of their meetings, they'll read their section of the book. And between the meetings, the students will do their assigned roles. So each student will be assigned a role like quote picker or plot twister. And so they'll have to look at the reading that they did that week and find places in the text for their assigned role. And then at the meeting, they'll start by each person presenting on their role, and then they'll read their given section. And once the book is finished, the entire class will have a discussion in a Socratic seminar form. So the whole class, it'll be like a big group discussion where the students are invited to dive deep into the meaning of the book. My next lesson plan is a 6th grade history lesson plan. For this, I used the Wisconsin History Standard, and this is talking about comparing past events to current events. So for this, I would have the class read the book and then talk with the class about immigration. I would have each student create a Venn diagram comparing immigration now versus the 1930s, which is during the Great Depression when Esperanza Rising took place. Then the students would use Canva to create their compare and contrast document. Then students would share the document with their class. So for this lesson plan, I actually created a document here which compares immigration now versus the 1930s, and I just put a couple things from each time period and then some things they have in common. That is the end of my critique, and I hope you enjoyed.